Families. Our childhood is the single most important factor in determining our lives as adults. It really impacts everything about us. And in fact, most children are traumatized or frightened seriously before the age of 7 years old. And this impacts us as well. By seven, most of our personality about who we are is completely developed. We've made most of our major decisions about ourselves, whether we're smart, pretty, friendly, loved, because our brains are so busy learning each and every day. We form beliefs about how smart we are and whether we're loved or safe, and whether we're sick or healthy. All of this information starts to become stored in our brain. We decide whether we're loved and valued, and these things deeply affect our hearts. Every detail about our abilities and whether little tiny decisions that we make are all things that happen before the age of 7. And why is this important? Because 90% of our brain development occurs between the ages of 5 and 7. And our brains are like little sponges soaking up information all around us. In wonder, we wake up in the morning, we're busy from morning to night, learning the language, experiences. We learn how we fit within our families and how we don't fit. And we learn how to adapt. We learn to hide our feelings because we're learning. And what are we learning? We're learning things like whether or not life is easy or difficult, or whether we're happy or unhappy. Are people around us kind or abusive? Is it safe or unsafe? Is our family a home where there's fighting and yelling and chaos? And are our parents fighting? Are they arguing and fussing at us? These things about will affect how we interact with our siblings and our family members. All of these things affect our future. Our family members mean maybe we might have felt neglected or abandoned, or we might have felt like we were important and loved and valued. Or maybe we felt like no one listened to us, or maybe no one cared about how we felt. Maybe they weren't affectionate or they were cold. We know that touching and hugging is important to a child, and as a young child, we take every single thing literally because we have no frame of reference. So, our family affects the rest of our lives. Your family is affecting your life today because your tiny brain made decisions about what you saw and what you heard. Every decision makes up our memory, and our brains are like small computers storing the data. And without realizing it, we made a blueprint for the rest of our life that's impacting us decades later. We replicate what we hardwired in our brain, in our subconscious, and we use it again and again. So, whether you realized it or not, you were affected by your life's experiences, both positively and also affected negatively. Whether you were bullied at school or at home, it still affects you today. Maybe everyone talked all at once, or they were silent, or they loved, or they hated. This is affecting you. Why all of our early experiences are stored in our subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious, we're not aware of all those decisions that we made that are in our subconscious. Neuroscience tells us that 95% of our brain activity is subconscious. Neuroscience also tells us that only 5% of our is known. We're conscious of only 5% of our brain activity versus 95 not known. Your subconscious mind is so very, very powerful. Your subconscious mind is more powerful than you. You can't overpower your subconscious. When you analyze or logic, your subconscious becomes even more powerful. The subconscious brain processes 400 billion bits of information per second. And the information and impulses travel at 100,000 miles per hour. 100,000 miles per hour. It's traveling through your brain, whereas your conscious brain only processes 2,000 bits of information versus the billions. the subconscious. It only travels 100 to 150 miles per hour, where the subconscious is traveling 100,000 miles. The power and the difference between the conscious and the subconscious mind is enormous. When you compare the subconscious with the conscious mind, it's like the subconscious is a jet and our conscious mind is a bike. So when you learn how to access your subconscious mind, it can bring you happiness and success. Having the power over these thoughts can give you peace of mind to enjoy happiness and success. Important for the enjoyment and relaxation and peace, and to enjoy the success that you deserve. Be on top of your A game. Be on top of your A game by learning how your subconscious mind works and how you can gain power over it.